welcome to the Be Seen, Be Loved TV show. I'm your host, Christie Love, and today we're going to talk about a very important message. And the title is How to Speak as a Feminine Leader and that gets what she wants, when she wants, and on her terms. So this is you. Tune in. I'm going to give you some super strategies that you can start applying right now to start getting your voices heard in the workplace, in your career, especially in a male-dominated industry. And so that's what I found. That's the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic, is because I see a lot of women, and I've experienced this myself in the past, of wanting to learn what do we need to do to really be seen and heard in a male-dominated industry. And unfortunately, there are some things that you need to do. You know, I would love to say that just be yourself, just speak as you want, just go out there and do your best. You know, you have the education, you have the background, you have the experience, you know that, and just go out and just continue to climb the corporate ladder, continue to just rise in your business and start expanding. But the reality is, many times we are in a situation where we are required to really lead, and many times we're the only female in the room. And so there's a lot of things that should be learned, right? Learn traits, learn skills that will help you to be seen as a leader, okay, as an expert, as an influencer, even though we are female. And so I'm going to go over this topic and some, just some quick tips that you can apply along the way. This may be a two-part series, so I'm going to do the best I can to stay within our allotted time and give you as much value as possible. But the first thing I want to talk about is just staying focused and your response, all right, and your response, and kind of being aware of how you respond when things don't quite go your way. For instance, let's say your things are not going well, your team is not producing as they should, or a contract did not get approved, and you need to have that extra discussion. Never respond out of anger, okay? And sometimes we need to possibly pause first before we respond if we have a tendency to act out in anger or be aggressive or just get upset. Okay, remember, men perceive us in a different light, okay, a different light than they are. Yeah, they can get upset and they can go off and handle and things like that, but when we do it, it's seen as nagging or complaining or whining or things like that. So we really have to be mindful. It's unfortunate, but we do have to be mindful of how we handle certain situations, okay? So never act or respond out of anger. Pause, regroup yourself, and then discuss the situation, okay? It's going to take some skill. I know it tends to take some practice for me as well. But if you do it over and over and over and over again, I'm sure it's going to become a natural tendency to respond in a very professional manner that gets results. Because all you really want to do is you want to find a solution to the problem at hand, okay? And speak out of perception, okay? And see the situation as something that's real. This is what's going on, right? This is the problem. I see this could be a solution to the problem, or these various solutions to the problem. So let's work it out. Let's talk about it and let's discuss the best option to fix this. You see how that comes across a little bit different than saying this is wrong and this is not right and you did this, you did that, and we need to fix this problem. We don't want that. Okay, we don't want that. And if you're a person that doesn't do that, I say kudos to you. But there are a lot of women that I've seen who just really act out in anger and aggression. So we don't want that. We don't want that male energy to come and surface when we are dealing with issues that may be a little challenging, right? And so when you speak to someone, okay, you should always speak to them directly, all right, and take out the personal issues, okay? It doesn't matter if you don't like that person or what they said about you the other day, or what kind of personal issues that you have with them, or conflicts that you have with them. Okay, when you're speaking to other people about a problem, speak to them about the problem. Okay. Take out all the people he said this, they didn't do that, all that. What's the problem at hand? And learn to speak directly without rambling, okay, without sounding like you're nagging and complaining, but speak about the situation. Because remember, the result of that conversation is how do we solve this problem together, all right? So just stay focused on the problem at hand, and you're gonna do great once you learn how to apply these simple techniques. All right. So we talked about pausing first. Sometimes you may need that, and just see the situation as what it is, and in a more professional arena. Okay, this goes for anyone in the workplace or also in your business as well. So stay focused, never get upset, always keep your composure and respond accordingly. If someone attacks you, okay, and I've seen this happen a lot of times. I went to it was like a ladies' luncheon, and there was a lot of women in the political space, which is mostly, of course, male dominated, right? And these women were not only females, but they were also minority women. So they had a lot of attacks at them. And the way they responded to these situations and attacks to them were brilliant, were just brilliant. And I said, wow, I wish I could take notes on how quickly they were able to respond, disengage the attack, and then respond directly to the problem at hand in a very clever, crafted way. And so I want you to be able to do that with a smile, and do that in a way that you don't feel attacked. Okay. Don't feel attacked. Respond out of our expertise, with our knowledge. Okay. With all the background and skills that you've gained. Okay. That's how we respond. We don't respond as if we are in a defensive mode. All right. So I want you to work on that if that is something that you need to do. But always think about that, especially when you're in a male dominated area, meeting, industry. Okay. Now, the next is your voice. Okay. If you know me, you know I'm a public speaking coach. And one thing that I pride myself on is the ability to use my voice. Now, let me tell you this. I was in sales many years, and I could talk to anyone, it doesn't matter who they were, where they came from, what country in the world they were from, what social economical status they had or they were a part of. Doesn't matter. I was able to dominate that conversation by my voice and the energy that protruded out. Okay, so I want you to be able to do that. Your voice is extremely important when you're talking to someone, especially to a man. All right, your energy should always be higher than theirs. Okay, we've talked about this before. Your energy should always be a higher level than theirs, but your voice resonance needs to be more of a middle tone. Okay, I had a friend actually from a Toastmasters group a long time ago, and she was an attorney, no, accountant. She was an accountant, and she worked in an accounting firm, but she never got the higher paid positions. She always struggled with that. And what I found was that her voice was very little girly, very mousy. She talked like this, and she really rambled on it, and she talked like this. And the environment that she worked in, again, was male dominated. Everyone was male. All the partners in the companies were male. And so when she went to apply for these higher positions or to become a partner herself, she never got the job. So she was always changing firms because she never got the position that she wanted to, reach in accounting. She was a great accountant. She had lots of experience, but she really wanted to elevate her skills and elevate her position within a firm. However, when she applied, she always got denied. And that was what I feel was because of the sound of her voice. I've seen this many times. And I truly wish that she, over these years, has practiced her voice. Because let me tell you this. Listen, I used to sound like a 1940s telephone operator. My voice was awful. I hated the sound of my voice. And so that's what I want to ask you is, what does your voice look like? or sound like? Do you like the sound of your voice? So I want you to really acknowledge that and really think about, what does your voice sound like? Is it too mousy? Is it flat? Is it boring? Is it monotone? All of those things are so vitally important when you're presenting yourself in an upper, at an upper level environment. Okay. People take command of the things that you say, and also how you say them is more important than what you are saying. So when you speak more in the middle tone, okay, more of a middle tone, using your diaphragm, make breathing. You see how that works for your middle tone? That's the resonance that is best able to captivate an audience, to captivate a person, to captivate a conversation. And that's where I want you to be able to speak. All right, got it? All right. So, and next, yes, so speak in a way that's very direct. Okay, that's very direct. Okay, you're going to find that when you work on this skill of vocal inflection, of creating the perfect voice resignation, that you're going to be able to elevate the conversation, or resonance, sorry, resonance. All right. So work on that. Okay. If you feel any insecurities or any tweaks in your voice, work on that. Practice it. There are a lot of different vocal exercises that you can use. I learned my vocal inflection and exercises from a book by Roger Love. It's called Set Your Voice Free. And he has a lot of vocal exercises in there. It may help you sort of strengthen your vocal cords so that you have more control over the sound of your voice. And so when you need to speak with some very directly, but very pleasantly, okay, with poise, but in a way that knows and speaks that you mean business, then that's the area that you're really going to get the respect that you desire as a leader. All right, so next I'm going to just go over eye contact. Eye contact is vitally important when you are having a conversation with someone that you want results, okay? When you are seen as, looking everywhere, you're not really paying attention, you're not able to look anyone in the eye, that comes across as not being confident, okay? You always want to seem confident in your conversations, all right? So when you are seen as more confident using your eye contact, that's going to let people know again that you mean business, and you're about your business as well. So as you continually rise in your level of expertise in your industry, these tips and tactics are vitally important, all right? When you're making eye contact with someone, okay, and you meet them, that's your first impression. Listen, you only get like 3 seconds to make your first impression. So if you come into a room to talk to a group of people and you can't look at them in the eye, that it immediately shows that you're insecure and that you don't have any confidence in the things that you're saying and what you're presenting. However, you look someone in the eye and you have a very firm handshake. That's another tip, a very firm handshake, not a limp handshake. Okay. When I meet women and they give me a limp handshake, that immediately tells me, okay, that they are not women of strength. They're not women of, they're not business minded. Okay. They're not at a higher professional level, right? Because they haven't learned this simple and important basic skill, which is how to have a firm handshake. Firm handshake. Clasp the hands right here. You shake really quickly, but very firm. Okay, you don't need to hold them, linger on, or anything like that. You definitely don't like dangle your fingers down in regards to a handshake. Not in the business world. That does not work in the business world. And again, that's a first impression that people will judge you on. All right. Look, if you want results, if you want to advance in your level of expertise as a profession in your business. I'm sorry, you're going to be surrounded by people. You're going to need to be able to work with people that you like, people that you don't like, and people are going to judge you. Okay. And those first 3 seconds are vital to creating a positive first impression that's going to get you results based on the conversation that you have. Okay. A conversation that follows. That's vitally, vitally important. So eye contact is extremely important. And when you are speaking to someone one-on-one, make sure that you're looking them directly in the eye when you speak with them. Okay. Speak in the heart. Okay. I want you to practice this. Speak in the heart. And when you're speaking, speak to them as if that was your closest friend. That's how you speak. That's how your voice is going to kind of soften a little bit and speak out of reason, speak out of importance, the subject at hand, when you have strong eye contact. Now, when you're speaking to a group of people, don't just look at one person and not look at the other group. Okay, be mindful and be aware of what you have a tendency to do, especially when you're speaking in a, let's say, like a boardroom setting. You're speaking to multiple people. Make sure that you're making even contact with all of those people throughout your conversation. That's vitally important. Make sure that everyone feels important and no one is singled out of your presentation. I don't like, right? I don't like when I'm in a meeting and someone with a few people and people don't look at me, or I also notice when people are only looking at me and not looking at anyone else. So I feel like the other person who is also a vital person to that conversation is being or feeling left out. I don't like that. So make sure, and I'm sure a lot of other people don't like that as well. So make sure that you're giving equal opportunity, okay, equal attention to everyone in the room with your eye contact, with your body movements, okay? Turn your body to the left and speak to the people in that area. Turn your body facing to the right when you're speaking to people to that area. And again, in the middle, okay? Give them your undivided attention when you're making a statement or a point, okay? So that everyone is included. That's a tip that I can give you and you can take with you forever. And it's going to make a huge and lasting change. Now, if you're speaking to a group, not a group, but a small group, let's say a man and a woman, make sure that you're giving them both equal attention. Okay. Don't just look at the man and not look at the woman. Don't look at the woman and not look at the man. Again, that's people notice those things. Okay. People notice those things. And the person you're looking at the longest may possibly be the person that is not the decision maker. And so you want to make sure that you're looking at the person who can make decisions. And you don't know who that is. So make sure that you're giving everyone equal opportunity, equal attention. Okay. Now, if you're speaking to a group of people, a larger group of people, let's say in a group setting or audience, eye contact again is vitally important. When you meet people before an event or before a speaking engagement, the handshake, the eye contact, the smile, your presence is vitally important to the way that you be perceived when you walk on stage. It's important, and it will be judged on whether you're going to get another speaking gig, whether you're going to get another opportunity, when you're going to get another opportunity to present again to that particular group or audience. Okay, all of these things are vitally important. People pay attention. You may not think that these things are important, but people pay attention to these things. I know I do all the time because I've been in a corporate environment. I've been in business for so long that I know what works and what doesn't work. I know what was professional and what's not professional. I know things that people look out for when they're looking for a partner, okay, or we're looking for an upper manager or a C-suite executive. All of those things are extremely, extremely important. So work on your handshake, work on your eye contact, okay? Also work on your vocal inflection and also the way that you speak. If you have a tendency to ramble, practice speaking direct. Now, when you answer a question, okay, your question should have always introduction, a body, conclusion. This is what I heard you say, okay? Or state the question. These are my thoughts. And this is the reason why made these, statements, or well, I'm thinking this way, or I had these ideas. Okay. When you're speaking on stage, again, when you speak in front of a group of people, always speak with a presentation with the introduction, body, conclusion. Make it simple. Make it very simple. Act like they know absolutely nothing about what you're talking about. Make it vitally simple. Okay, so keep it simple. Keep it simple, sweetie. But this is very powerful stuff. If you are looking to increase your level, okay, as a feminine leader, someone who gets what she wants, when she wants, on her own terms, you must play the game. Play the game of professionalism, and play the game that so many people have shown that has been successful for so many years. As you become the best version of yourself, I'm not asking you to be anyone else but yourself, but be the best version and the higher elevated person that's going to be able to confidently and comfortably handle these higher level positions. But these are some things that you need to know. Now, I definitely want to know from you. I think this is very powerful stuff, but I want to know from you, what are some things that you're struggling with in the areas of your presentation and the areas of speaking in front of groups, especially if you work in a male dominated industry. I want to know more about that so I can give you vital information on how you can help elevate those areas that you may be having a challenge with. And that leads to the end of this presentation, this session today. But next week, we're going to go over part 2 of how to speak as a feminine leader that gets what she wants when she wants on her own terms. If you're with me, say yes, yes, yes. And I look forward to seeing you next week in the next session. Thanks so much, and much love.
Thank you for being on the show today. I just want to go over a couple of announcements before we head on over to conversation and a little Q&A. First, I want to give a shout out to Midwave Radio that airs our show in Scotland, the UK, and abroad, as well as on Win Win Women, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and also Apple TV. You can see the recordings there. Now I want to just tell you a little bit about a webinar that I have that you can find on my website, BeSeenBeloved.com. And if you know me, let me just talk about what I do. I help heart-centered, career-minded women who are overworked, anxious, and feel inferior in the workplace to rise to the next level of success by boldly stepping into their power as a stellar speaker who has found her voice and is able to communicate in a way that generates loads of cash with confidence, clarity, and confidence. So if that's you, you definitely want to tune into this webinar, How to Have It All, Career, Lifestyle, Family, without sacrificing your health and happiness. So you can go to my website, BeSeenBeloved.com, and grab it there, and it's free. So what's next? If you want to move forward and simply book a call with me, you can certainly do that by going to the website below, BeSeenBeloved.com/powerhouse-strategy-call. And let me just tell you about my Superwoman Speaker Suite, all right? It's a 90-day immersion or coaching program that's gonna help you to end your overwhelm, your chronic exhaustion, anxiety, rejection, drama, and really not feeling heard or seen or understood in the workplace or in your profession, right? And teach you how to really emerge as a powerhouse woman who is deeply fulfilled and who's an amazing leader as well. And so I invite you to book a call with me, see if we're a great fit. I have openings right now for a few of you amazing women who are looking to really take your life to the next level, take your life and your career to the next level as your most amazing and most powerful self. Now, as always, I just want to thank you again for being on the show. And you can always catch me live on Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 7 o'clock p.m. in the UK time. And as always, before I go, I just want to send you much love and success. Bye for now.